Hello. Hey, you guys. How is everybody today? I just want to start off by saying thank you, Christy, for this opportunity. I was honored when she asked me to be a part of the Boss Up Summit and to come and coach you guys. Like, I'm totally honored by that. And you guys, wow, it has been intense in this group. Like, there's been so much value being placed in this group this week with the coaching. Like, it is phenomenal. I love seeing how interactive you guys are. Like, oh my gosh, you guys are amazeballs. Christy has done a freaking amazing job building this tribe and this community and giving you guys the ability to just learn and grow. And like that in itself is amazing. Like, she is an incredible leader, and like for those who are around her and are open to the growth and the processes of leveling up, you're definitely going to get that from her. So I'm so thrilled to be a part of this, and I've been watching this group for a very long time. She is absolutely doing phenomenal in her coaching. And you guys, my voice may start cracking. I'm not used to doing all this talking. Like, I'm a very quiet person, and I did a training last night that was almost 2 hours long. And so my voice, it may go by the end of this, but I've got 2 pages of notes, and I've got tons of value for you still. And it just excites the far out of me to see how willing and eager to learn that you guys are, because that is the most crucial part of your journey, is being open to learning. So with that being said, for those of you who don't know me, I will just introduce myself. My name is Danielle Phelps. I'm a success coach. I help women with the ultimate transformation. I help them through their health, their mindset, their purpose, and then beginning their entrepreneurship. So a little bit about me, I'll take it way back. In around 2007, 2006, 2007 is when I graduated high school. In high school, I knew I wanted to be a nurse. That's what I wanted to do. I had taken all the health courses. I did all the things. I got accepted into the nursing program. And then the semester before I was to graduate, I flunked out, you guys. I was devastated. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. That was the career path, my plan A, the only path that I had paved for myself, and I didn't know where I was going to go. I didn't know what I was going to do, and it absolutely devastated me. And that's where my story begins, because it's been a journey since then. It's been a slow process, and I want you to know, if you're struggling and going through all the things in life, just know that there are stepping stones in life. You have to take them to get to where you're meant to be, and it all adds up in the end, and when you look back, it's a glorious, glorious blessing. Hey, Christy. Hey, Haley. Hey, Elena, thanks you guys for hopping on. I'm super excited to be here and coaching you guys today. And my dogs are barking. I apologize. Somebody's walking out the road. It's a gorgeous day, so we live on a backcountry road and people are walking. So I'm sorry if you got to listen to them bark. Maybe they'll be quiet in a moment. But Christy said it best when she said, I am a multipreneur. I am a wife, a mom, a God girl. Those are in the forefront. Those are what get the best of me. And then I'm an entrepreneur. We love to get out. We like to hike. We're outdoorsmen and things like that. But we have 4 businesses. My husband owns a construction business, concrete and things like that. I'm the brains of that operation. Then we have our dogs, which we created a dog kennel, and we raise chocolate labs. We've actually got 4 puppies right now, and they are the most adorable, cutest, sweetest little things. And I have a health coaching business with a multi-level marketing company. And also I have my coaching business, The Affirmed Life with Danielle Phelps, where I help people just like you, women who want to level up their lives and to just be more, do more, and accept their calling and their purpose, which is what we're talking about today. And I help them through discovering what that is and help them to get started on their journey. So for all of you that are in here, I would love to know where you're tuning in from. I know they've asked you to do this every time, but I just want to interact with you guys. You guys are amazing. I love the interaction that you've given. I also want to know how many of you in here are aspiring to be a coach? How many of you want to be a coach who is on your own, a solopreneur, not working for an MLM or anything like that? You just want to individually coach people. If you want to do that, put your hands up in the comments. And then if you are in MLM, put a heart. I would love to see a heart from you if you're in multi-level marketing, network marketing, whatever you want to call it, and you're just leading the masses, okay? I would love to know where you're coming from, what it is that you do as an occupation, and what it is that you want to do, because that's a part of what we're going to be discussing today in passion and purpose. So on with my story, I had flunked out of nursing school, didn't know what direction I wanted to take, and my only other option that I had as a dream was to be a stay-at-home mom. And so in 2009, I turned 21, had my first baby in October, and like I was living my dream life, but I didn't feel fulfilled. How many of you are living your dream life, but you don't feel fulfilled? You still feel like there's something in your heart saying that you're meant for more, that there's something else out there that you're supposed to do, but you just can't pinpoint it. You can't put your finger on it what that thing is, because it all boils down to passion and purpose and the things that you've been through. New Jersey in the house. I've got a cousin and aunt that are from New Jersey. They're from, let me think for a second. I think it's called Finland, something like that, up in New Jersey. We love to get together with them as often as we can. And that's where I was. I had that calling deep within that said, you know, you're meant to lead. God was telling me that I needed to lead. And I don't know if you guys are believers in God, or if you believe in the universe, or what higher power you believe in, but I'm a God girl, and so I will refer to that a lot. If that's not what you believe in, just ignore me, I guess. But God was telling me that I was meant to lead, but you guys, I was a follower. I've always been a follower. I couldn't lead a thing of ants out in the yard if I had to. And God was calling me to lead, and I was this follower. So you better betcha that I was resisting and running from it. I didn't want no part of that. I didn't want no part of anybody looking at me. I didn't want no part of being the center of attention. I'm an only child. I had all the attention I needed growing up. I was spoiled rotten, and I did not like it when people looked at me. So I was resisting like crazy. So I actually was devastated over not becoming a nurse in nursing school when I flunked out, and that led me into a massive state of depression because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. It was just like there's nothing left of me because that's all that I wanted to do. And so I got really depressed. My health went way down. I got severely stressed out over finances and things like that. And what happened then is I got a chronic illness. My health got so bad that I came up with a chronic illness. I got to the point where I felt like God was punishing me for failing out of nursing school, and that there was nothing left for me, and I just felt like a failure. And that's when that calling got even stronger in my heart, that I was supposed to do something more, but I just couldn't figure it out. And I was struggling with what career path I wanted to take because I've got 4 boys, 3 of those who needed to be in daycare if I was to go to work. And daycare for 3 kids is absolutely insane, you guys. So I knew that I didn't want to go out into corporate world with somebody breathing down my back saying when I could spend time with my kids. If they were sick, I wouldn't be able to take off. I didn't want that lifestyle. And I wasn't sure what was going to be right for me. So I was constantly looking for ways to make money from home and things like that. And I kept looking. I kept searching. I was tenacious about finding something to work from home so that I could be with my babies. And so that's what I did. I kept doing that. And then when I got depressed and I got that chronic illness, when I was going in to get diagnosed for that chronic illness, I had already made letters out to everybody because at that point I just didn't want to live anymore because it would be easier. I was severely depressed, you guys. I just wanted something easier than the life that I was living. And I'd done made it up in my head that if I survived that I was going to have to change something because the way that I was living, I was going from the bed to the couch and nothing in between. I wasn't getting anything done. I was barely taking care of my family. I was grouchy. I was yelling. I was angry. I was bitter inside. And I needed something more. So like I had made that decision. If I woke up from that surgery, then something was going to change. Well, that next day I woke up from that surgery and I reached out to a health coach. I knew that with all my history of being in medical classes and health and working in hospitals, that everything revolved around health. So I knew the first step was changing our nutrition in our home. So that's what I was seeking out to do because I hadn't even got the results that I had a chronic illness yet. So I reached out to a health coach and I was like, girl, I need some help. I'm basically a nurse without the degree, and I know it revolves around health, but I can't get myself started. I don't know how to change my life. Help me. And she said, absolutely, I can absolutely help you. And she started helping me on my health journey. And she said, maybe you should think about coaching because your mind is full of all this negativity. And if you focus on others, maybe that will help to bring out the positivity in you and to help you recover quickly. And so that's what I did. Whenever I got diagnosed with my chronic illness, they put me on 4 different medications. My hair was falling out 3 handfuls a day, and I was like a zombie, you guys. I didn't feel like doing anything. So that's when I decided that, yeah, I've got to get serious and 100% committed about changing my life. And so I dove in, and within 2 months, I was off all my medications, living naturally, living with just supplementing my body with good nutritionist food and supplements and exercise. And with that MLM company that I was in, it was all about exercise, and that's not who I was. I loved it. I loved that it was changing my life around, but with inside, I still felt that there was something different that I was supposed to be doing. There was a different path that I needed to be on, and so I was still trying to figure that out. So I slacked back and I started really listening to God. And that's where the foundation of hope came from that I teach on in my coaching. And I don't know how many of you know what that is, but the acronym for hope is honor, obey, pray and praise, and then encourage. And I started forming my life around that acronym. And when I did that, it absolutely transformed my whole life, you guys. And with that, I created the Affirmed Life because our lives are what we create. It's what we choose. It's what we want our life to be. And with that comes everything that Leah talked about the other day in her training. You've got to be able to celebrate everything that happens in your life that is good. And you've got to learn to manifest. And that's where the Affirmed Life comes from, because you've got to be able to affirm what you want to happen in your life. It's the mindset work of it all. And then you've got to create clear goals around what it is that you want out of this life and work really freaking hard to attain them. Knowledge is power, but until you put the action in with it, like, you're not going to get the results. So that is the main key to finding your passion and purpose in life. You've got to do the inner work that comes along with it. So you've got to figure out what it is, who you are, and who you want to be. Those are the 2 things in finding your passion and purpose. You got to figure out who you are and then who you want to be. And what was her name? Kara talked about it yesterday. You've got to figure out your brand. When you find out who your brand is, like who you are, you've got to take that and then you got to do the bridge work to who you want to become. Because in this life, progress equals happiness. So if you want ultimate happiness in your life, then you've got to continually be growing and making progress in your life. So everything that we do and finding our passion and our purpose is about taking those stepping stones in life and growing and moving forward in life. And it comes with physical experience of the things that we go through, the afflictions that we go through, the trials and the tribulations that we face in life is what makes us who we are. And that gives us our purpose of helping others. Thanks, Elena. Hop back on and catch the replay, girl. But you guys, you've got to, it's all a mindset. You've got to have your mind right and be looking for the positives and the future and things like that. You can't live in the past. And what happens is when we get to this crossroad in life to where we've not physically experienced something in our life and you're wanting to jump into coaching, but you're going to get this fear. You're going to get this massive fear of, what are other people going to think? All these things, all these stories, all these origins are going to come up, but because of the way you're raised, what society says is the right way to live your life. You're supposed to work to a 9 to 5, and all these things are going to come up for you, and it's going to hold you back because fear is false evidence appearing real, right? So you're going to think all these things and none of it's true, but it's going to hold you back. It's going to limit you from your highest potential of getting to where you want to go. And whenever we get to these crossroads where we've not physically experienced something, that already triggers a thing in our brain that says, steer clear, don't go there. Do not go there. It's not safe. You've never been there before. How many of you have experienced that in your life? You go to do something new, and then you have all these emotions of why you should not do it. And that's your brain telling you, hey, that's not safe. Steer clear of it from whatever reason. And that's what I faced in my own coaching journey. I love the health aspect of it all because that was a part of my life. It was kind of like my destiny. I loved nursing, and I knew I had to do something around health, but I couldn't figure it all out. I couldn't pinpoint it all. And when you start creating these affirmations around who you are, it feels like you're lying to yourself because you're telling yourself these things of who you want to become and the things that you're gonna do. And it feels like a lie because you've not already done them, you've not already experienced them. But you've got to keep telling yourself these things until you actually believe it and you start acting as if. How many of you in network marketing have heard the fake it until you make it, act as if you are already there? So that's basically what we should live our lives as. You have to act as if you're already that person so that you can grow and hit the milestones to turn into that person, if that makes sense. So in passion and purpose, you really got to figure out your own story of who you are. And that's what's going to connect you to your tribe. And that's why so many of you are connected to Christy, because she tells her story over and over again and you connect with it. You relate to it. You understand what she's going through, right? Well, in our own journeys, it's the same thing. We create our brand about what we go through, and that creates our story. And that connects us to our tribe. And that's what Kara was talking about. She was talking about branding and those 5 things. So in my own journey, I'm a family woman, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I'm a chocolate lab lover. I have my dogs. And then I love adventure, so that's my number 2 thing. We love to hike, hunt, and travel. My number 3 thing is that I'm an IC warrior. I have a chronic illness that I've overcome, and health is a big part of my life. Not so much exercise in that aspect of going to the gym and things like that, but nutrition and fueling my body with the things that I need so I have the energy to have a full pot so I can pour into all my family and all my friends and all my coaching clients. And then I'm an entrepreneur. We have the 4 businesses, and that's a huge part of our life. Like, we work nonstop. And then I'm a God girl. That is the biggest part of my life. I've learned that, on my journey, I felt like God was pushing me away because he was disciplining me for doing wrong in my life. But in reality, he was just trying to pull me closer, you guys. He wanted me to lead, and I was not on that foundation of hope. I wasn't honoring what my body was telling me. I wasn't obeying what the higher power and what my body was saying, and I wasn't praying and praising and having all the good vibes and the positivity, and I wasn't encouraging other people going through the same things I had been through. And that's what the foundation of hope is. It's just learning to listen to your body, getting quiet, listening to the higher power, having the spirit, your mind, and your body all connected in alignment. So, how do you discover your passion and your purpose? Because that's what you're here for today, right? So, I want you to get out a sheet of paper, and just like Kara told you guys yesterday to define who you are, I want you to do that same thing. I want you to get out that same sheet of paper that you wrote on yesterday with all those things on it, and I want you to discover who you are. But today, instead of doing like family and things like that, I want you to write down activities, hobbies, anything that you love to do. And then I want you to write down your past experiences, anything that you've dealt with in this life. So, have you struggled financially and overcome it? Have you dealt with your health and gotten better health? Have you overcome anxiety and depression? Have you done something that nobody else has done? Are you great at dance? Are you great at, I don't know, you put down whatever you feel it in your heart that you love. Because that's where it starts in figuring out who you are. And then I want you to write down things that you want to learn, things that you love and are passionate about learning and becoming an expert at. All these things have to do with defining what your passion and your purpose is. Obviously, our huge purpose is to help other people in this life. Just like Jesus came to help and save us, we are here to be able to help other people and to be able to help them move forward in their life as well. But it gets nitty and gritty, and you have to niche it down. I don't know how you say that word. Niche. Either way, you niche it down into what it is that you want. And when I was trying to define my passion and purpose, like I was really having a hard time with it because there were so many things that I was passionate and wanting to do with my life. Because just like in the way that Christy described me in the post this morning, she said that I love to learn. You guys, if I could be a millionaire for learning, golly, I would have bukus of money and there would totally be a massive abundance of money, because I love to learn. And I'm always learning new things and learning in every area that I possibly can. And like that's one of my things. And I was really struggling with what niche I wanted to go with, what I needed to do, what I was passionate about, because I loved so many things. So I asked my best friend, I was like, girl, who am I? What do I love? What am I good at? And she said, well, Danielle, you kind of transform to help everybody. You love to help everybody. There's not really one certain type of person that you love to help. You kind of change yourself in order to help everybody. And I was like, yeah, that kind of describes me. That's why I'm having so much freaking trouble and defining my passion and my purpose. And so what I realized is I had to take that calling and run with it, that I was just supposed to help the masses. And that's where the ultimate transformation come along, because you guys, I am one of those people that my concentration doesn't stay for very long. Like I can do something for a few months, but then I want to revert to something else because I'm bored with it, and then I'll come back to it later. And that's how my coaching goes, even, because I want to always be content with what I'm doing. And that's why I go with the ultimate transformation. And I help people with their health, and then I help people with their mindset, and I help people, then we convert that into helping them with their passion and their purpose once they've filled their own pot so that they can pour into other people. And then we take that passion and purpose and we create a business around that so that they can start helping those people that they were meant to help. So that way, throughout the whole year, I'm doing different things and helping different people so it never gets boring. And that's what you've got to discover in your own journey. You've got to figure out who you are. So what activities, hobbies, past experiences, and what things do you want to become an expert at? And then once you discover those things, set those to aside. And then you have to think about your dream life. What is that life that you want to live? If you could live any life in this world, how would it be defined? How would you live your life? So I've got some questions about your life that I want you to answer, because that's what coaching is. When you're doing life coaching and things like that, it's all about asking your client questions so that they can figure out the answers for themselves and they can move forward from the spot that they're in. So, what I want you to do is I want you to grab your piece of paper and I want you to figure out what your dream life looks like. I want you to answer the question of, who is someone that you admire and what kind of lifestyle do they live? So for me and my own journey, I love Joyce Meyer. She is a women's minister, well, everybody's minister. She does preaching. But what I loved about her was that she got to empower thousands and thousands of people. She got to speak on stages. And you guys, I am terrified of speaking on stages in front of people. But when you step in to those stepping stones and create those affirmations of who you're going to become, your mind really starts believing it and you grow as a person. You guys, I used to could not get on a live without shaking and feeling like I want to puke and pee my pants and all the things. But now I'm kind of an expert at it and it comes naturally. Like, I don't have to worry about it. How many of you have been scared to do a live? Put your hands up in the comments or give me some hearts. Let me know. Say amen in the comments if you have felt scared at all to do a live, and just tell people your story of who you are. Because it takes growth. The journey takes growth. But you need to think about that person that you admire and the lifestyle they live. What are they into? What is it that you like about them? For me, it was Joyce Meyer. I love that she could get on stage and empower thousands of people to feel better about themselves. I love the fact that she got to travel the world and go to different cities and to do all kinds of different things. I love that she is created the Hand of Hope, to where she gets to help people who are struggling in this world. I loved everything about her life, and I loved how she laid it to people straight. She gave it to them straight. It was no bullshit. Like, she gave it to people the way that it was, and she didn't care to hurt their feelings. That's the kind of person that I wanted to be. So you've got to think about who that person is that you admire. Then you've got to think about how you want to make money. So when you wake up every morning and you roll out of bed and you have your breakfast and then you get ready and you want to look however you want to look, when it's time to make money that day, how do you want to make that money? How do you want your life to look? How do you want to live your life? Because it's inevitable. We have to make money to live this life, right? You can't live and function and have the desires on your heart if you don't have money. So how is it that you want to make money? And success leaves clues, you guys. So those people that you admire, they're doing several different things to make money. So take note of that. And decide how you want to make money for yourself. What kind of lifestyle do you want to live? How many vacations do you want to take a year? Do you want to travel? Do you just want to be a homebody who stays home all the time? How do you want to live your life? And then what inspires you? How are you inspired? What makes you want more? All these things matter. How do you help others? What can you help others with? What have you been through in this life that you can help others with? What problems can you solve for somebody? Because when it comes to coaching, that's what we're here for. We have to take that person that we are, we have to bridge over to this person that we want to be. And that's what you're doing as a coach. You are helping people to take a transformation across the bridge. So that's what you're doing. You have to find something that you know about, that you have information on, that you're one step ahead of somebody else on. So that way you can grab their hand and you can say, hey girl, I can guide you. I will take you along on the journey. I'll be there for you when you're down, because it's going to be hard. I will help you through the valleys and the mountains, and we will get you to where you're going. You got to be that bridge way for that person to get from point A to point B. You are their support and their accountability as a coach. So you've got to find in your passion and your purpose of becoming a coach, you've got to discover what life you're wanting to live and how that correlates with what who you already are, your brand. So what do you already know? What is it that you like? And what is it that you want to know more about? And discover what that is. Is it health? Is it just being a better person in general? Is it relationships? Because I feel like we're talking more about strictly coaches and not necessarily MLMers in here. But even with you MLMers who are leaders and you're trying to lead your tribe, you've got to figure out what your story is. And whenever you figure out your brand, it's a whole lot easier to live the lifestyle you want to live, because it's easier to take that bridgeway and to grow as that person when you affirm your life and decide this is where you're going, and who you want to be and the type of coach and the type of influence that you want to be on people. And that's where the foundation of hope comes in. You've got to listen to your body. I was a people pleaser all my life. I would always consider what everybody else wanted from me. I was always making decisions on logic instead of what was in my heart. So you've really got to listen to what's in here. That means tuning out everything, uncovering all the stories that you have, the way you were raised, what you think about what you're supposed to do, what everybody else thinks that you're supposed to do. You've got to tune all of that out. And you've got to be surrounded by people who are going to encourage you to do what's best for you. You've got to learn to listen to yourself. And when you do that, you learn to love people at a deeper level. You love to help them at a stronger level. You're more willing to put out your hand and help them. And with that, we've already talked about overcoming the stories and the origins, and you just got to be guided by your spirit to do what you're called to do. And that's where your purpose and your passion comes in. But you've got to do the inner work. You've got to do the mindset work. When you've got to do the health part of it all first. You've got to discover who you are. It's all about self-discovery. And once you figure out who you are and who you want to be, then you bridge those together so that they intertwine and you become that person that you want to become and help those people that you want to help, because you're going to have a target market of people that you want to help. There are certain people that define who you want to work with, and you've got to figure those people out. And then whenever you do all these things, your body, whenever you get your heart to tell your mind what it is that you want, and then it tells your body what you need to do in order to grow into that person you need to become, you get in an alignment, which brings you fulfillment. How many of you do not feel fulfilled in the career path that you are on right now? You know that you do not want to do that for the rest of your life. Like, I knew that once my kids went to school that I was going to have to figure out what I wanted to do, who I wanted to become after they went to school, because my 4-year-old starts school this year and it's just going to be me at home. And I love coaching. I absolutely love it with all my heart. But there's also other parts of me that I want to grow bigger and be a better person. So that's what I'm focusing on whenever my kids go to school. I'm going to be doing my coaching and making it grow as big as I can, but I'm also going to work on the other parts of me that I want to flourish as well. So you've got to determine who you are and who you want to become in order to find your passion and purpose. You've got to really do the inner work. And then that's when the happiness and the prosperity comes, because God blesses you. You guys, when I started surrendering and actually started listening to what was in my heart instead of resisting and running from God, that's when all the doors opened. That's when all the blessings started coming in. That's when all the money started rolling in. That's when all the prosperity started coming in. It's when the freedom came for me to live life my way, my choice, by following what's in here, not what's up here. So you get the freedom of choice. You get to figure out who you are. You've got to figure out what your message is. What do you want to say to the world? If this was your last dying day, what would your message be to the world? What would you tell people that would help them live their life better? What's your message? What's your story? What have you dealt with that you've overcame, that you can help somebody else with? Start there. You're not going to be the same coach that you are starting out in 5 years. And you're not going to be that same coach in 10 years. Don't be scared to pick one niche and then let that turn into something else. Because you will transform over time if you're constantly growing. But in order to be happy, you have to have that progress. It's okay. That's why you see so many coaches start out as health coaches, but then they turn into business coaches, or they turn into lifestyle coaches, niche coaches, things like that. Because once they've got that experience of building a business, they will convert over to the business coach, teaching people how to level up their business just the same way that they built their health business. So just know that you're going to grow on the journey. There's stepping stones, and you will ultimately get to where you're supposed to go. Celebrate where you are, enjoy where you are, and teach where you are, help people where you are, to the point that you can help them to. And then when you move on, you can continue helping more and more people. So it's the lifestyle. You have the freedom to choose your lifestyle. You have the freedom to choose who you are and your brand. Your brand comes from all of that, just like Carol was talking about yesterday. So she told you in that training that, every few months you have to go back and rediscover if your brand still fits you. And it's so, so true, because we're going to grow as people. So if you guys have questions about passion and purpose, please drop them in the link or in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them for you. But it's all in self-discovery. You've got to get good on your health. You've got to, so that you can reach that maximum potential. You can function at your maximum potential. You can fill your own pot so you can pour into other people. And then once you've been on that health journey for a while and you're actually transforming into that blessing of a person that you are, and you are discovering your gifts that you have for the world, well, then that's when you discover your passion and purpose, because you really start listening and living on the foundation of hope, to where you can really get quiet and listen to what's in here versus the noise that the world has. Girl, you've got a sparkle. Let it shine. Send your message to the world, you guys, and just allow that message to be soaked up. And I want to leave you with this message, okay? People are not always going to agree with you. They're going to disagree. Some of them are not going to like what you stand for. They're going to cast stones and hate at you. But I want you to always remember this. God created you for a purpose, to help his people. Don't worry about the people who hate you. All those stones that they cast at you, pick those stones up, but don't throw them back. You continue living your life listening to your heart. And when you do that, keep working on you and constantly growing, stacking up and just collecting those stones that people throw at you. And before you know it, girl, you're going to attract your tribe. And after your tribe comes, you're going to have an empire of your own. You're going to be a leader for the masses. You're going to be inspiring and empowering so many people. Don't let the negativity of the world hold you back. Don't stay stuck at the crossroads in life. Allow yourself the ability to just be who you are. We're all different. If this world and we were all the same, this life would be so, so boring. Share your message without regard to what anybody has to say about it, because you will attract your tribe. And just know that people that love you are coming. There are people out there that love you. You're beautiful. You have a message, and people need to hear it. You are put on this earth for a purpose, to help other people. So let your light shine bright, and be the person that you're meant to be, and talk to the people that you're supposed to talk to, and have no regard, and have no, what's the word? My goodness, going blank here. Be unapologetic for who you are and the message that you have to share with the world, because that desire, that message, it was placed on your heart for a reason. Go out there and share it. Share it with the world. And when you do, when you obey what your body is telling you, It's going to be door after door of opportunity and blessing after blessing, you guys. So I hope this helps. If you're wanting more coaching on this, by all means, go to the Affirm Life Danielle Phelps. I'm always giving trainings and tips in there. You can leave comments in the comment section, ask questions, all the things. I'll check back here to answer any questions that are in here. And I hope you all have a fabulous, fabulous day. Thank you so much, Christy, for letting me have this opportunity of speaking with your people. And I hope you all have found value and that you just go on to live the most fulfilling life that you can feel, that you can create for yourself. Just create those affirmations, figure out who you are, who you want to be, and go from there. So love you all, and I'll see you soon.